The New York Giants head to Charlotte, North Carolina on Sunday to face the Panthers. Giants installed as a 1-point favorite on BETDAQ, 46.5 the total in this game. Both these teams off to disappointing 0-2 starts this season, looking for their first win. I think one of the differences, though, between these two teams is the Giants, there are parts of that team. One part in particular you can point to and say definitively they do that well. Not sure you can do that with the Panthers. In looking at Carolina, what is this team good at? We thought coming into the season they'd have a good defense. They played well defensively over the second half of last season. But through 2 games, they rank 25th in yards allowed, and they're having injury issues in the secondary right now, very vulnerable in the secondary. So you can't look at Carolina right now and say they're playing great defense. And on offense, they rank 27th in the league in total yards, 30th in pass yards per game. Cam Newton only passing for 151 yards per game through 2 weeks. So what is Carolina doing well? They're not doing anything well. Mike Shula's offense, the early returns are not good. Shula, of course, in his first year as offensive coordinator, replacing Rob Chudzinski, who left to become the head coach at Cleveland. The Giants, on the other end, they do something well. Giants currently first in the NFL in pass yards per game. Eli Manning has thrown for 781 yards through the first 2 games of the season. And as we mentioned, the Panthers dealing with injury issues in that secondary. Eli Manning and those 3 wide receivers, Hakeem Nicks, Ruben Randall, and Victor Cruz, should have a field day in this game, which is why I lean towards the Giants. I know it sort of feels like Carolina is due for a win here. They should have won that game last week. Heartbreaking loss to those of us who were on Carolina. That is me. I was all over Carolina in that game, and they really blew the game at the end. They allowed E.J. Manuel, a rookie quarterback, to drive nearly the length of the field with 1.5 minutes left and no timeout. So anyway, I don't want to relive it again. It's making me irritated just talking about it. But Carolina, a tough loss last week, so feels like coming home this week as a short home underdog. You think maybe this is the spot where they get it together and pull out a win. I'm sure a lot of people will be placing Carolina bets this week, thinking along those lines. I just don't see it, though. You break this game down, you break down the matchups, that New York Giants passing attack versus the Carolina secondary, and then you look at the Giants defense, which actually hasn't been as bad this season as they were last year. The Giants currently middle of the pack, 19th in the NFL in yards allowed, despite the fact they've faced 2 good offenses. So I'm not sure Carolina's going to get a whole lot going in this game on offense either. Now, probably won't be as ugly as it was last year, 1 year ago this week, when the Giants went in there and just embarrassed Carolina on national TV. Remember, that game led to teammates questioning Cam Newton's leadership because he appeared to sort of sulk and quit in that game. Might not get that ugly this week, but I do lean towards the Giants here. Remember, Tom Coughlin's brother died this week, so there's been a lot of stories around that. Tom Coughlin obviously very emotional about it. Apparently some of the Giants players have been emotional about it also. Not sure if that's going to have any effect on the game at all, but I don't think it's going to hurt the Giants. I think it's either going to have no effect at all or it's going to be a positive effect. Just another thing to consider there. I do lean towards the Giants here, -1 on the road in Carolina.